This video is on how to field strip and clean the Sig Sauer P365. I know everyone has their own way of doing things, including myself, so for training purposes, we're going to clean this right along with Sig Sauer's recommendations. It's similar to the P320, except you're not removing the frame assembly, and there's one extra step during reassembly. So let's get started. Make sure your weapon is clear and safe, pointing in a safe direction. Drop the magazine by pressing the magazine catch button. Work the slide a few times. If there's a round in the chamber, it's going to eject at this point. Hold the slide back by pressing up on the slide catch lever. Then visually and physically inspect the chamber to make sure you're all clear. Now push the takedown lever downward until it stops. It's going to stop right about the 630 position. Then release the slide by pressing down on the slide catch lever. Release the recoil spring from the barrel lug by pressing down on it from chamber end to muzzle end. Then you can pull the barrel out. So now you're field stripped. You got the barrel, the slide, recoil spring, magazine over here on the side, and your frame. Okay, start out by spraying everything down with CLP or whatever your favorite cleaner is. I like to use a pressurized CLP because you can get into hard to reach spaces, including the rails, but be careful not to spray right here. Look for the breech face. You'll see a hole right there. You don't want to spray fluid down in there. You're going to end up clogging up your striker channel. If that happens, you may start getting light primer strikes. So just to be safe, while I'm applying the CLP, I hold the slide in a downward position just to make sure everything leaks downward and not down into the striker channel. After you have applied cleaner to all your parts, start scrubbing it down with a nylon brush. Use the small end of the nylon brush to get in hard to reach spaces, and you can also use a Q-tip. Give special attention to the rails on both the slide and the frame, and anything that you see metal on metal wear. It makes it easy if you use the small end of the nylon brush to get into the rails. Now I know it's a really small part to show on camera, but that's the extractor there. You're going to use the small end of the nylon brush to get in there as well. Now there's your striker channel. I mentioned earlier not to tip the slide upward to where you can get cleaning fluid on the breech face that leaks down over the firing pin and down the striker channel. You can also get fluid directly in the striker channel right here, so be careful and make sure you keep that dry. To clean it, just use a dry Q-tip, or you can use a dry lube like Hornady One Shot. I've never had a problem with that. Or you could use bore cleaner because it's not greasy and it's not going to attract any dust or grime. But don't spray the fluid directly into that channel. And you are going to get a little bit in there as you're spraying the rest of the slide down, but just wipe off any extra fluid with a dry Q-tip. Okay, screw a 9mm size bore brush onto your cleaning rod. I've already sprayed CLP into the barrel, so I'm going to spray a little bit on the brush and push it through only one way, from chamber end to muzzle end. And make sure you use the T-handle. The reason I'm using the T-handle and not holding onto it with just the rod is because the T-handle allows the rod to spin freely, and the bristles on the bore brush will get into the rifling like they were designed to do. If you hold just the rod, those bristles are just going to go straight over the grooves of the rifling, and it's not going to clean it properly. So just do this one way, from chamber end to muzzle end. Take the brush off, pull the rod out, and start again from the chamber end. It doesn't make any sense at all to push the dirt out, then pull it right back in. You're welcome to use a regular cleaning patch holder to push patches through the barrel, but I like to use this pick device. It seems to clean it faster and better. Just spray CLP on the patch, put it over your attachment, then push it through from chamber end to muzzle end. The first few patches will come out dirty like that. Keep adding CLP to clean patches and push them through, and they'll start to come out less dirty. Once they start to come out clean, it's time to move on. Okay, they're starting to come out clean, so I'm going to go ahead and use the bore snake. Now, I said I'd go along the lines of Sig Sauer's recommendations, but they don't mention a bore snake in their manual. I'm going to go ahead and use a bore snake just to be extra thorough. So make sure you're using the correct size bore snake. It should say 38 or 9mm on the brass weight. Push the weight down into the barrel from chamber in to muzzle in and just pull it through a few times. 2 or 3 times should be good. I'm just going to wipe off the excess CLP from the barrel. And it's hard to see on camera, but after using the bore snake, the inside of this barrel is immaculate. I mean, it looks shiny like glass. There's not even a speck of dust in there. It looks better than it did when it came from the factory. That's why I recommend a bore snake. And I'm not going to lube the bore. For you beginners, that means the inside of the barrel. That needs to stay dry. Okay, we're almost done. I'm just going to go through all the parts and wipe off any excess CLP, and I'm going to use a Q-tip to get in hard to reach spaces. CLP is the only product you need to use on this gun, but today I feel like using a dedicated lubricant, so I'm going to put a little bit on a Q-tip and apply it to the rails and any metal on metal wear that I see. Time to reassemble. Take the barrel, put it back in the slide, put it in from muzzle in to chamber in, and turn it over. Look at the top of the slide just to make sure you got the correct lockup. Reinstall the recoil spring by inserting it from muzzle in to chamber in, and make sure it's seated on the barrel lug correctly. When you look at the muzzle in, it should look like this. Okay, the takedown lever is going to change positions after you take the slide off, so when you're putting the slide back on, you're going to need to move the slide catch lever up. As you're holding it up, then you'll be able to move the takedown lever back down into the 630 position. Then you can line up the rails and push the slide back onto the frame. Now pull the slide all the way back and the takedown lever is going to snap into place. Then you can press down on the slide catch lever and let the slide go home. But guide the slide back with your other hand. It's never good to let the slide slam shut on an empty chamber. I know you see people do it all the time at gun shops and gun shows, but it's just not a good practice. So take care of your gun and your gun will take care of you. You really don't need to disassemble the magazine every time you shoot unless you drop it in dirt or sand or something like that. So if you do need to disassemble the magazine, it's easy enough. You probably don't even need a video tutorial for that. So you don't want to soak this magazine down with CLP. You don't want fluid getting inside the magazine. That's going to cause stuff to build up inside it. I just spray a little CLP on the rag, then wipe it off, and that's about all I'm going to do for the magazine today. Time for a function check. Pull the trigger. You're going to hear a click, but don't release the trigger. Keep holding it and work the slide. Now release the trigger. Pull it again and you should hear another click. If it does, you're good to go. So now we're done. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and buy something from us at skullcrush.com.